And during the pandemic, for those 2 months, it didn't make sense to do brand endorsements while the country is going through what it's going through.
Never forget those initial moments of recognition. I was in Delhi, in fact, for a promotional event, and I was dressed in that avatar because if some PR happening, a woman has stopped her little red car in the middle of the road, run out of it, to be like, I'm a huge fan, I need to take a picture with you. And the cops were like, Madam, aap yahan park nahi kar sakte ho. And I was like, wait a minute, is this happening? Is this for real?
Even though, let's say, Prajakta and I might not be doing as many mom videos now, the younger creators are doing mom videos and they are very funny. So, like, it's not like the basic things that make you laugh are have changed because I think we all have shared experiences and I think that makes for great content.
Hello, hi, good afternoon, good evening, I don't remember. First and foremost, my name is Monica. It's a wonderful day. We are here to celebrate Women's Day and we have with us three beauties, Prajakta Koli, Rytasha Rathore, Kusha Kapila. Welcome to Bollywood Hungama. How are you guys doing?
Thanks, Monica.
Thank you for having us. We are great.
What she said with the fumble.
First and foremost, I think this is my first in-person interview in a while. I am socially awkward in general.
Same.
And also I'm an ambivert. I feel I was extrovert, ambivert, moving to introvert, I think. Has like pandemic changed you in a way how you now conduct yourself in public?
No, not really. Although, like the first time I went out and shot something on a set after the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, actually, when things were slightly better. So there was this surge of emotions for sure, because suddenly you came from complete house arrest, lockdown, and then you went onto a set with so many people. You do kind of like take time to adjust, and then you just feel like this overwhelming sense of community once again, which I think I was missing. So that one experience, yes, was overwhelming, but after that, yeah, I mean, I'm just, I don't know what I am. I'm just vert. I don't know I'm hungry vert, actually. Yeah, hunger is a problem for me, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was always a bit of an introvert in new settings. Not much has changed. In fact, the pandemic has made me a little more like wary of people. Now you have an excuse to not interact, you know, you have an excuse to ignore people. Even if you spot them across the distance, you're wearing a mask, you wear your sunglasses, you're like, I don't need to talk to nobody. So I'm there, which is fine. I'm happy with my own energy.
Same, actually, exactly what Kusha said. I had that, I think, a couple of days when I suddenly feel like, oh, I want to be around people, but I also was so used to being by myself and not having people in my space, but I missed the company. Overall, I think I'm over jeans, though. Post-lockdown.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
like I moved on to the pants thing and
Yeah.
probably a little bit of palazzos, I feel.
Yeah.
Comfort over
No more
anything.
skinny jeans.
No more skinny jeans. What's been your source of happiness during this time? I feel like a lot of people have moved towards music or something like they've been watching. Because you guys bring a lot of comfort to others, but what has been your comfort? Like, what do you watch, or what do you like? Who do you hang out with, or like that gives you a little bit of happiness?
So I take therapy for chronic disorganization, which basically means that I am very overwhelmed when there are too many things. And in my profession, you do get a lot of PR packages, which overwhelms you more because you don't know where to stuff like that. So first thing I did was when I moved into my new space, I didn't share my address with anyone. So now I don't get PR packages, which is great because I don't have to think about that. So cleaning has really helped me because that's one thing that I've struggled with all my life, despite being a Virgo and how they say that Virgos are usually very, very cleanliness freak. That's not true. I am not. So yeah, I feel like doing up my space, making corners for myself in my house, and cleaning really came to my rescue. Yes.
Grown up of you.
With the sari and all, you have to
Really?
pulled back hair and all.
Mainly, I would say exercise has been an anchor of some kind of endorphins, because literally you're tricking your body into thinking you're happy. And it's as simple as that. I started working out properly for the first time in my life in March 2020 was when the lockdown began. Yeah. And but whatever illusion of happiness is there when the endorphins come. Yeah, that's
मेरे को आ नहीं रहे एंडोर्फिन्स में 2 महीने से कोशिश कर रही हूँ. Where is it? कब आते हैं? तीसरे महीने पे.
shayad.
Actually, same for me. I started working out in the Feb or March of 2020 for the first time ever, when I realized that, oh, I can't climb flight of stairs without dying.
What else are we doing?
Yeah, like what am I doing? I was extremely unhealthy mentally, physically. So the lockdown actually came as a blessing in disguise only in that department. So working out for sure, and writing. I did because I had a lot more time. I wasn't wasting time in traveling from Thane to everywhere else in the world. So I got a lot of time to actually sit and write. I wrote a lot of things. I published articles. I wrote articles. I didn't publish them so much on my blog, but I wrote, and I hadn't done that in a long time. So that was quite fun.
And therapeutic, obviously.
Very, yeah.
Writing helps in many ways. I think a lot has changed over the last couple of years. I feel like when y'all started, that was a different time. I feel like the eras change every year when it comes to content creation, when it comes to digital space in general. I feel when I started watching, especially when I started watching Prajakta in general, that's a different time altogether, I feel.
We were creating together at that time. You were a YouTuber too.
But I wasn't making fun content like you were, right? So that was a different thing. But I feel like a lot has changed. What do you think in current times? Do you have to go on about what can I create more? There have been a lot of creators coming on board, pandemic has boosted every kind of content. So do you ever go back to your first video at times to see what has changed? Do you ever see what can you bring new to the table to your audiences?
Interestingly, I feel the same things make you laugh. I believe that. And honestly, why I say this, because there have been so many renditions of, let's say, mom videos. Yeah. And even though, let's say, Prajakta and I might not be doing as many mom videos now, the younger creators are doing mom videos and they are very funny. So, it's not like the basic things that make you laugh are have changed because I think we all have shared experiences and I think that makes for great content. But at the same time, I think the duration of content I feel has dramatically reduced. I personally feel because of how the platforms are changing. And when you are in such a volatile career where literally your career is ever evolving, at a greater pace than other careers. So I feel you have to sort of learn to be slightly ahead of the curve, and if not ahead of the curve, with the curve. So definitely I feel the things that make you laugh and that make you feel, that make you go all mushy or that make you go teary-eyed, I feel those things are fundamentally the same, but the way the stories are being told, storytelling might have changed, but the core feeling I feel is the same. So yeah.
Can I be completely honest?
Yeah, sure.
I zoned out for a couple of minutes. I'm so sorry. My lens got dry and then I started doing this, and then when I came back, I wasn't on this planet for a couple of minutes. There are a lot of creators who have joined new during lockdown, and I think that's a great thing because the platforms have gotten much bigger than they were. More money flows in, more advertising happens, more brands come in, platform gets bigger, reach gets bigger, more people are watching. We're reaching places that we couldn't even place on the map before. So I'm very glad that that's happening. And I'm really, really hoping it's close to the question you asked. It is? Okay.
Regional content बहुत आ गया actually. पहले बहुत से North Indian energy होती थी, which was obviously too much and it was dominating. So I feel like, and I feel YouTube especially is a space which invites people from all regions, which is great. But you see that on Instagram also. So there's a lot of regional content which is very specific to the audience and they enjoy it because I feel like they feel represented. So yeah.
Since you are an actor as well, but who also does stand-up comedy, who's tried her hands in that?
Just once, yes.
Still, now, but there has been many moments. People remember you from your acting, from your stand-up. Now, but you're also someone who's been a part of Masaba. Do you remember the first time someone recognized you? And do you remember which platform it was for?
I was on a very primetime television show, actually. So that is where I first got recognized. And I'll never forget those initial moments of recognition. I was in Delhi, in fact, for a promotional event. And I was dressed in that avatar because there's some PR happening. a woman has stopped her little red car in the middle of the road, run out of it, to be like, I'm a huge fan, I need to take a picture with you. And the cops were like, Madam, aap yahan park nahi kar sakte ho. And I was like, wait a minute, is this happening? Is this for real? I remember that. It was
If
wild.
my mother had seen her, she would have probably kidnapped her and gotten her home and like had hours long conversation with her, I think so.
I think times have changed from television to digital space. You've created a very like great path for yourself. Do you see the growth in the way now everyone has a platform to be an actor somewhere? I feel like that. There's like a medium for everyone. Someone can show their talent.
Absolutely.
And they can like absolutely get a huge following from that. What do you think digital space has done for you in terms of your talent and in terms of performing? And how has it changed over the years from the time you auditioned to the times it is now?
So I still audition for all my acting work. That hasn't changed. What the digital space has done is provides an opportunity for you to connect with your audiences outside of your work. So say we were to look back 10 years ago, a supporting cast member like me in a show like Masaba Masaba would not have that access because you wouldn't be invited to all the press interviews because you're not the main lead and all of that. But now, because you have your own social media, your audience knows you also for who you are and they love you for that, irrespective of what role you're playing in whatever shows or films or anything that you're doing. So the internet's great for that. I mean, just to build your personal brand, it's important.
Prajakta, I feel like you've had a tremendous growth. I feel like you're about to make your Bollywood debut as well. Does it ever hit you that things have changed so much over the years? And I feel like, is it not hitting you enough because you're with the same group of friends and people around you all the time? So does it like, oh, I'm in a great space, but I don't know, it doesn't hit me so much compared to, unless you are in the situation that moment?
So I get overwhelmed very quickly, and 9 out of 10 times I will not know how to handle that. So I'll cry, or I'll just be like, I don't know, like my confidence is shaken. I'm like, I don't know what I can't do this.
That's a feeling, yeah.
Right? So I mean, I'm very, very grateful for this life. I always say this. I love my job. I love getting up every day, every single day, and you know, even if I'm like today, I got up and I came here. Tomorrow, I'm sitting and writing with my writers all day, and I'm really looking forward to that. I am very, very happy and grateful that I get to live this life, and every opportunity that comes with it. I remember a similar thing happened when we were at the hotel when we were about to go shoot with Michelle Obama, and I could feel that storm of emotions coming, and I knew that I could either let it hit me and I would just crumble, and then I would be a big pile of just like, so, like, you know, I would just be that at the shoot, or I would be like, express gratitude that I get to live this day, but not let it get to my head. You know what I'm saying? So even with the film, I remember when Panchami, who's our casting director, who casted me for Mismatched and for Jug Jug, when Panch called me, she's like, you know, this is happening, and the director has asked, and I was so close, and you know, every time you get so close to losing it, I was so close, but I was like, I don't have the film yet. So we'll think about it when the film, when I was about to fly to Chandigarh for my first, even talking about it, like, you know what I'm saying? I was very nervous, but I was like, let me fly. Let me have my first day on set. I came back, and now I'm telling myself that it's a June problem. Like, it's a June issue. I will figure it when I am there, because I will end up losing a lot more if I sit down processing and getting overwhelmed with it. So as grateful I am, and as thankful as I am for this, I understand that the only way I can stay afloat is if I take one day at a time. So I definitely, and again, like you said, my circle has a lot to do with it. I mean, I have like 7 friends that I've had for the past 28, I'm 28, so 28 years for sure. My team has remained the same ever since I started working, and they really do help me sort of stay in touch with normal situations, so which is very important. And yeah, so I'll freak out about it one night. Like, you know, this happens a lot when I'm driving. Like, I'll be driving and then suddenly like tears are just down and I'm like, I'm so grateful for my life. But
Lives are great for crying though.
right? And it's just one of those things. but it's always very happy tears, you know what I'm saying? So we'll figure it out.
That's true. I do remember when I think you were about to take a flight that day. I think that morning only I messaged you because I think we get to know first, right? At times, like
You
who's
knew?
going. That's why I messaged like congratulations, and I got to know that. I think 10 minutes ago I had got to know, but it was going to be official 1 hour later. So I was very happy that it was happening for you. So congratulations on that. We'll see you on June, obviously.
24th? June 24th.
Yes. Now, Kusha, I wanted to ask, you've been a voice of this generation in many ways. I feel people resonate with you. There are so many celebrities watching you as well. And during the pandemic, you've just championed in many ways, used your platform for resources and everything. Does it ever pressurize you in many ways? Do you ever take your social media detox? You're just like, it gets so overwhelming at times that because now that you have a platform, people expect you to be a certain way at times.
It's a very loaded question. I take therapy, so that really helps me process my emotions, and obviously I'm super privileged in the sense that I can afford therapy and I can afford it as many times as I do in a month. But at the same time, I feel you could acknowledge privilege, but what is acknowledging privilege going to do if you don't use it, right? And during the pandemic, for those 2 months, it didn't make sense to do brand endorsements while the country is going through what it's going through. So, and I don't think anyone is supposed to do it, but the thing that I had the bandwidth, maybe because I'm so privileged, and I was at my home in my comfort. Therapy was accessible at that time, which a lot of people needed that time, but probably didn't have the financial capital to afford it. So when you have all sorts of privileges, I thought I had the bandwidth to do what I did, and actually a lot of people did it. And that's my problem with the whole thing, that when somebody who has the social capital, when they do it, it's spoken about. There were a lot of volunteers who were civilians, but just because they're not famous, nobody talks about them. But there was a network of 70 to 80 people, coders setting up websites overnight, people who were great at Excel sheets, making Excels with like exhaustive data. So there were a lot of people doing insane stuff. That's why so many people also reached out to me that time that, hey, what do you think? I said, this interview is futile. You don't need to do it. And this is something that should be expected out of us. Yes, it is the bare minimum for us, but obviously there's no obligation to do it also. But there were so many people working. My own friends, I feel like if I talk about Delhi, there were so many people working at it, and it only made sense to do it at that time. So no, there was no pressure. There was no pressure. It just felt like the right thing. Maybe because I studied in Delhi University, and we always had a sense of community there and coming together and doing things. Maybe that's the kind of colony I grew up in, so it just came very naturally at that point. I mean, I do think about the things I put out, which could, like I do have this mental check where I see that what I am saying should not come across as problematic, because that's like the favorite term now. So yeah, and I think that's okay, and I think that's what you should do. You should vet what you are putting out there, but. Other than that, I'm having a lot of fun making content nowadays, because like I've changed the kind of content I make, and I'm just having a really good time. So yeah, I don't know. Did I answer that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you did.
I get super emotional talking about the pandemic. So I
No,
feel
I completely understand. I do understand. I think everyone had gone to a very difficult time, so I completely understand. I just wanted to get an idea. You guys are established in many ways. Do you have any advice for younger creators or like younger actors who are coming, like aspiring and like trying to like make their dreams come true? So do you have any advice for them, and what do you think they should do or look forward to? I know it's going to be a struggle for them, but what do you think they should be doing?
Not really, not always, not every one of them. I mean, it's very funny when I'm sure Kusha, Rytasha, do you get this? They're like, but you know, when you were struggling, and I was like, I still am. I mean, every day content changes. I think so. If there is anything I would like to share, is just like make peace with the fact that you'll never have it down. You'll never have it figured it out completely. It's going to be very, very uncertain and very, very new every day. That's what keeps you on your toes. So it's fun.
I'd say that there is a lot of noise out there and a lot of chatter. But if you really want to do something and be good at something and achieve, quote unquote, be successful, focus on getting really good at what you do. That's it.
I'll say consistency. And you know, this one time when I was roasted, this one comic said, and it was a friendly roast, and they said, you know, Kusha Kapila's content, Kusha Kapila says that consistency is key, and she's right, कि अगर आप consistently unfunny content बनाओगे तो लोग आपको accept कर लेंगे. तो it was a friendly roast, like we were all roasting each other, but it was too funny, right? So yeah, consistency. I feel like content बनाओ पहले, बनाओ और फिर बनाओ, and then learn again, and then you'll know what to do. A lot of times when younger creators reach out to me, they're very confused, and I'm like, but you haven't really made a lot of content, so just kar lo.
And there's never a good time. Yeah, it's
The
not
best
like,
advice.
yeah, there's never a good time to start. It's not like, okay, maybe I'll wait it out, or maybe I missed the train. You know, it's now. I mean,
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking
Thanks,
to you.
Monica.
I hope I asked you all the questions. And is there something I missed out I did not ask?
It was fun. I think it was a great interview.
Thank you so much. Lovely talking
Thank
to you.
you. Thank you.